helps to improve the safety and security of the marker. We do daily inventory and samples from the marker. Every day we need to make sure when we start the day is the same that we finished yesterday. When we finish the day, we use exactly the marker that we have all the paperwork for it. Nothing has leaked, nothing has been taken, nothing is missing. So we do a daily inventory at all sites to make sure that everything is safe and secure. For that, we have dedicated supervisors at each site to make sure the safety and security, and these are very important things. We use also the latest technology for detection to make sure that we can detect very accurately. These machines that you are seeing there are the same machines that go to the field and the same machines that you find in the main lab. They are able to detect the level of the marker that we put in the floor. The way, generally, that the equipment works, we have always the latest software, we update it when it's required. It's a very user-friendly. You don't need to be a computer science or a specialist to operate these machines. They are very user-friendly, the software. The results comes in about 3 to 5 minutes, so it's a very fast result. The real-time results are going up to the server, ministry, and whoever they would like to see are able to see the results, and they are live. Each location of the test is recorded, so we know the GPS location for each and each test, and there are reports that can be viewed through the on-call web app on the internet that will allow the ministry to use. These are samples of the reports where you can see on the left side, it comes in bars, you can see how many tests were done, where they were done, each month, and all these things. And also on the right side down, you can see in terms of locations. So the ministry can see the bigger the circle is, more tests were done, and they can see also, it's a bit difficult to see, but if there's red spots, it means that the red ones are fails. So they can see also where the failed tests are. Our operation in Uganda. It started with GFI in 2008. Okay? Later, in 2020, SIGPA has bought the operation, but we started in 2008. In 2012, the scope has changed, not only supplying the technology, also actually doing the doping at the border. Since then, since 2012, now it's 12 years that we are doing the doping at the border. Our head office of SIGPA in Uganda is in Tinda. The fuel marking office is in Busia. We have marking done 7 days a week at all border posts that we cover. This is Busia, Malaba, and Mutukula. And we have recently, a few years ago, added Mahati. This is a new installation closer to Entebbe that they receive fuel through a vessel over the lake. And also, in case there is a requirement to do marking at any other location, maybe someone had an accident of transit fuel and they want to localize it, or there's some fuel that was captured that was not marked, then we can also mark at any other location. Samples. We don't take the samples, but we collect the samples. We don't take the samples, but we collect the density for each and each compartment, and all this information is inputted for each and each compartment, and all this information is inputted in a general system that also being able to view by the ministry. It is going into what we call into the SCUDA system, and it's being able to view by all the stakeholders. We do through the computer the calculation of the volume, and we compare the volume between the declared one or the exit one and what we actually find. All of it is displayed on what we call the marking order. By putting the information in the computer, we are also connected to the SCUDA. So if the exit note the document from URA that you come and present to us does not appear on our system, it means that this document is not existing in a SCUDA. So that is the best verification to make sure that the actual fuel that you get to mark has been paid tax. And that is one of the major things in this project, to make sure that we reduce the smuggling. With the smuggling comes adulteration and all the other things, because people are trying to avoid paying the taxes. After we did the calculation, Marco is dispensed into cylinders and taken to the trucks. All this process of taking the cylinders, verification of the cylinders, pouring them into the truck is done with the agent or the driver. We do not hide anything. The document is very transparent, everything is very clear, and at the end of it, we have the person where, if it is the agent or the driver, to sign that he accepts and he has received what is written on that marking. That is very important for the handover of the responsibility. It means that they take ownership that they have received the correct mark. Quality control that we do, we have presence of SIGPA expert management available now at all times. We have supervisors dedicated at every site. We have our own laboratory to check our marker. So each marker that is used at the site has been tested and confirmed that it is in the correct levels. There is no marker that gets to the site that is not tested. Also at the site, we take random samples from the marker and we check. We have also cooperation with other agencies, not only the ministry, like we have with UNBS and URA. SIGPA verifies the documentation, the density helps UNBS to make sure that the standards are correct, and the same fuel that was loaded at the loading point, if it is Isumu or Eldoret or other ones, is the same fuel that we find. Verify the volumes, that one helps, again, to make sure that everything is correct. SIGPA has with URA reconciling, like I explained. We are together on the SCUDA and we verify each and every exit note that it has been used and we are using it through that SCUDA. A forgery of documents, we spoke about it, and different volumes between the product types. It can be that someone can declare one volume, but it brings a different volume. All this will appear on the marking document that it has excess of volume. Later on, URA or UNBS or the ministry can handle it through their pipes. Also, what we do when we check the density, we can verify the product. If you declare that you have diesel and you bring in petrol, because the tax difference is big, that will show through that density. Recently, we have moved into our new office in Malaba, where it's a proper building office. We moved away, we had containers with Mabati, but this one is a much better office that we have done recently, invested in, and it's good for the drivers, for the agents, and also improving our employees' facility. Thank you very much.
Now, my name is Peter. I'll be presenting almost especially what we do in the field, follow-up, what SIGPA has done at the border. When they put a mark, how we use that mark, they are putting the fuel, ascertain the quality of product throughout the whole supply chain. That's what I'm going to present. That's what we are involved in as a field monitoring exercise. In my presentation, I will talk about the background of the product of the program, areas of cooperation in which we are managing this quality assurance of the product, the benefits of field marking program, the malpractices, how we monitor the achievement we have had since we began in 2008, and then the challenges and the way forward. What is field marking and how is it done? Field marking is a government program which is managed under a cooperative arrangement between the Ministry of Energy and UNBS. The program is designed to control the quality of petroleum product throughout all the supply chain, right from at the moment it enters the country at the border, through the depots, up to the retail station where the consumer takes the product. Because for a local man, you just take your vehicle, you don't know what you are putting in, but we are putting into this program, enable us to make sure that the product which you are putting in your vehicles meets the standard. Now, we cooperate in areas of quality assurance, as I've already mentioned. The two institutions, the Ministry of Energy and UNBS. We cooperate in management of the field mobile lab. We have field mobile labs which move over the country every month, testing the product in all those apps, in all the entire country every month, ascertain the quality. So we manage those field labs and also the main laboratory. We have a reference central laboratory at the Ministry headquarters. Now, also in the area of cooperation, the both institutions manage the human resource on the program. We cooperate with standard development in the upstream and midstream and downstream. In these standards, the Mr. was talking about the procedures and all that. The program helps in the development of those standards. And then we cooperate with SIPA, the technical supplier, who supplies us with the equipment we use in the field and in the central laboratory. What are the benefits of this program? The benefits is quality assurance and protection of the product up to the final consumer. Because along the supply chain, there are moral practices. So one of the benefits of this program that's put in place to make sure the quality assurance is good, meeting the standard, and the product is protected up to the standard that's coming. That's why we do the marking, to make sure that the market concentration throughout the supply chain remains that it has been put in at the order up to the final dispensing point. The program also benefits to control the market practices, which may result in unfair competition. Unfair competition comes those who are adulterating products. They may sell at a cheaper price compared to those who are selling a good product. So the product, by monitoring, we are able to catch those who are doing malpractices. In that way, we control those malpractices and avoid competition. Also, such malpractices may result into interfering with the product of the quality of the product, which may lead to damages of your vehicles. As we shall be discussing, in fact, some people have been affected when their vehicles have taken bad quality products and then they have been damaged. But the program now is there to make sure that you are protected, your images are protected, and the consumer is protected. Then lastly, the program also helps to look for that product, the technology which was provided. We are able to ascertain where the product is adulterated, where the product has been tampered with by adding in product, it does not pay tax. It's of good quality, but it does not pay tax. We refer to that as damage. The product going through the country to Congo, Rwanda, Sudan, finding themselves in being put into the tail station within the country. Those products have not paid tax. They present an unfair competition. So the technology we are able to get what amount has been put into those tail stations, those dump products and small products. Now the there are three main practices in this industry of nuclear products. Number one is adulteration. That involves illegal mixing. More so in this country, it's more of kerosene they mix with petrol and diesel because the prices of kerosene are less compared to petrol and diesel. So the common math practice adulteration is by mixing this product so that they gain profit. And this vice is what we are fighting on to make sure that the consumer does not get adulterated product because it alters the specification of the product. The other common practice is smuggled, which I've already mentioned, untouched fuel coming into the country. This is more so, it used to be very common around the border areas, especially from the eastern region. People smuggling product, they have not paid tax, they put in their retail stations, and then they sell at a cheaper price. But with the technology we have, we are able also to get this. And then the other I've already mentioned, dumping, that is trust fuel, which is diverted on the local markets, which is not meant for the local market. Because when price bring the market, they don't mark trust product. Destined for Congo, destined for Sudan. But then some companies may find dumping here, but then without technology, we are able to take that kind of product once we find it in the railway stations. Now, during monitoring, what do we do? When we get, every month we move every pump starting fuel. We get the samples, as you can see. We place just 5 mils of the product, either kerosene, petrol, diesel, into the equipment which was provided. We have mobile vehicles which move, and it takes a short time to ascertain the quality of that product. That's the equipment which we use in those mobile vehicles. And within 3 to 5 minutes, as you mentioned, we are able to ascertain the quality of the product at any retail station at any time by having the result either passed or test failed. And when the test failed, then we close off that facility for non-compliance. As the statement was telling us, we seal off that station, and when we seal off, then they are supposed to comply by paying the penalty 60%. I'll show you what measures we take when you have sealed off. Now, with reference to this last quarter, July to September, in our database, we have registered those number of test stations. Every month, we do a cleanup of the test stations within the database because new ones are coming in. Some are being decommissioned, some are changing names. So we keep on updating our database every month, and we have quite a number of retail stations that are operating within the country, and we make sure that we visit all those retail stations. Our monitoring coverage every month, when I looked at the data in the last quarter, we are at 87%. Of all the retail stations in the country, we are able to cover. As we have been building our capacity, we are able to cover up to that level. We have expanded our deep reach into every area. When we began, we had only 2 vehicles. We could reach in a few areas. But as we have brought more mobile labs on board, we have divided the countries now up into regions. We are here, this region is called the Western region. We are here in Western region, which we also have subdivided into Western A and Western B. We have Southwestern A, Southwestern B. Then we have the North, we have the Eastern A, Eastern B, and we have the Central. So that we can reach at a faster time in these regions at every moment. In those regions, we have enough mobile vehicles at a moment to reach out those regions at any time every month. For a period of July, this first quarter, this was the performance of the quality of product throughout the entire country. This is non-compliance. Eastern, even last financial year was leading in non-compliance. With 24%, the number 52% of most of those test stations were found non-compliant. 24% of all the test stations in the country, Eastern was highest, followed by West Southern region. This is the Mbarara area, Tunga Mokasese. Then Central is number 3 in non-compliance. Western, you have improved. By last financial year, you were second. But in terms of compliance, this quarter, the product have been found better compared to the last financial year. While the northern is very much compliant, but that may be due to the fact that there are few retail stations in the northern region. Compared to these other regions, the central, you find most of the number of retail stations are concentrated in the central. In the north, you find they are very much scattered. And those much scattered, you find most of them are at least complying. So that was our performance in the last financial year. Now, when we get you, when you are not compliant, we penalize you for the first time. You know, Edward went through the courses of the penalty which are given. We get you the second time, you will be fined, but with a warning. The third time, your license will be suspended for 6 months. And when you are a repeated offender, your license may be revoked. But now, what we have discovered through our monitoring is that when he has reached the second and is going to the third one, he changes the ownership. But one thing we have in our system, which we have GPS location. We have targeted those locations, particular. Whether you change your name, the location in the system with GPS coordinates will remain, and we shall be able to work competently. So, what are our achievements? Monitoring of quality product, more so this petrol, diesel, and kerosene, and all the others, has improved progressively, such that we have reduced the level of adulteration. We have also reduced the level of dumping and smuggling of products into the country. Our compliance level, as per last quarter, we were at 99.2. When we have taken into possession of all the regions into the country, we are doing good with the coverage of 87% of the entire retail network. The other achievement that we continue training of our staffs. It is continuous training of our staffs with respect to the technology. Once it upgrades the technology, then we train our staff to catch up with the scientific development which are taking place. Our labs are under ISO. We are recognized and we are moving towards accreditation. That's an achievement. We have 9 mobile vehicles that has improved our efficiency in reaching out, because fuel is a fast-moving product. What I find at Shell this week, Shell main here in Hoima, may not be the same product after 2 weeks or after 1 week. So we are improving by adding more mobile vehicles, so that we can even a month we can reach that same location more than once, because it's a fast-moving product. You may have dumped product this week, and if we are visiting only once a month, you may not find the dumped product after 2 weeks. So we are improving so that we are frequently visiting these locations to curb those vices of adulteration, to curb those vices of dumping and smuggled product within the supply chain. The other achievement we are doing is sensitizing. That's what we are here today, sensitizing. We have been in this region since Monday. First of all, we talk to the public. We tell them what we have done. We have been gathering at retail stations, talking to the public, what the government has put in place, and what are their responsibility when they go to field from the retail stations. As Vice was explaining, to pay attention that they are not cheated. And in case they get bad quality product, what are they supposed to do? That's why we are here now. Also, even to cause awareness and to partner up with you stakeholders, the police, the local authority, in managing and control of quality of product. This awareness is very key in our operations. Timely delivery of our field reports has been an achievement. With the technology we have, we are able to disband results very efficiently. As soon as the test is out from the equipment, when we visit a station, the equipment has a printer. We print the result immediately and you sign. We take the sample in your presence, we test in your presence, we print out the other. And then we have had experience that, except the dealers, when they buy product from Kampala or from any depot and they are bringing to the station, sometimes they do accidental mixing. It's not deliberate, but during offloading, you find that they have mixed diesel with petrol accidentally. And if you're a dealer and you have this kind of accidents, please report to us before we come, so that we can help you to upgrade your product to bring the right specification. So that has also been a challenge. And then also in these retail stations, because once we have visited you, we have found the product non-compliant, we need to quantify how much of the non-compliant product is in your underground tank. And this requires us that you have allocated dipsticks. Sometimes we find non-compliant places where they don't have dipsticks, and it becomes a challenge for us to quantify how much product is within, so that we can levy the penalty. Then, Edward talked about breaking of seals. When we find non-compliant and we put a seal, please go through the procedure of reporting as we explained to, so that you don't break the seal. Breaking the seal is an offense and it's penalized. What is our way forward? The field marking quality monitoring program has enabled the quality within the country to be tested, apprehend culprits, because it's a fast moving product, so that we have been able to enforce the standard of the product. Before we began this program in 2008, the amount of adulteration was at 30%. 30% of the retail sector within the country, they were selling non-compliant products. As we talk now, it's less than 1% of what we find which are non-compliant. We have tried to fight the vice, but people are tempted to steal adulterated products. But we are doing our best to enforce the standard. As we build the capacity, we have added more equipment. We are committed to fighting substandard products and to make sure that the products which are on the market meet the standards, so that the consumer do not have their vehicles affected by the damage of these non-compliant products. Increase of awareness. We are here in this region. We have been in different regions. In the next quarter, we shall be in another region, the northern region, so that we bridge the gap even with the local authority, to show them their role, so that we partner together to make sure that the product which on the market meet the standard. So one of the other way forward is that we request the retail station managers to always avail our field staffs with the tools, the dipstick, to cooperate during testing, because we have experienced sometimes from our field team that when they come, there is no proper cooperation. And now when you have found non-compliant, then you begin claiming they test the product in my absence. But we request you, as one of your four, to cooperate during the testing procedure. We need more cooperation with the OMCs in these monitoring activities. And then also we encourage the OMCs to do self-regulating in terms of quality. We are encouraging those leaders who are here today, buy hygrometers, test this product yourselves. Some companies are put up with some labs to check the quality, to maintain the quality of their products throughout the supply chain. This is what we are here to sensitize you, to encourage those dealers also to put up measures so that you be able to manage your quality within your supply chain. We need to cooperate with the local authorities to enhance our operations for the good of the citizens, to take good quality product. With that, in the case you have any challenge, local authority, all dealers, all the stakeholders who are here, we have a toll-free number. We have a toll-free number here. You call this number anytime, we shall be able to come to your rescue, because we have mobile labs all over the country. You can either call the commissioner in case it's very grievous, but the toll-free number, we shall be able to reach you anytime. This is my number. These are my numbers, the supervisor. And then we have the numbers of the head of the laboratory. We shall be able to reach you at any moment for any challenge that the fuel products within the whole supply chain. Thank you so much for your attention. And as per our program, we shall take a few minutes to get feedback from the presentation we have had since morning. If you have a suggestion on the way we have been working, bring it forward so that we get that suggestion. If you have a comment, if you have a question, it's a time for open discussion on what we have been sharing with you. If you have a challenge, you can bring it forward and we see how we can work together as institutions and as stakeholders.
That is okay, but
I'll be taking like 4 questions in a batch. We respond to them, then we proceed.
Bring back at the other number, the contacts you have not yet completed.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you.
so what is when
You put up your hand if you have a suggestion. So there's one hand here. If you have a suggestion, if you have a question, you need clarity, and we shall be able. You mention your name and your title for purposes of the rest of to know who you are.
Thank you so much. I'm Samuel Kimusijiri, Town Clerk, Kagadi Town Council. I want to thank the presenters for what you've presented since morning, and I want to appreciate on the issue of campaign that you've carried out in our region, especially when you came to Kagadi, specifically Kagadi Town Council. Only that we did capture some good number of our customers. How I wish next time we do massive, better mobilization and we get many clients to that effect. My concern is on being presented on issues of quality controls. But I was asking myself on the issue of quality, at what age do our customers get poor quality fuels? Is it at the inception, from the depots, on transit, or at the very petrol stations that where we consume fuel from? Because it affects our customers and even people with vehicles. They've been complaining so much because of the poor fuel that we consume. Then the prices of fuel keeps fluctuating quite often, and it's too high. I don't know how you didn't mention anything to do with fuel, but you reach in a center or in a region like in this Hoima city, you are almost in the same location, but you find here the price is too high. The other side is a bit moderate, almost like 500. How do we control that? Because when you go deep in the villages, it's worse. The increase is too much, and it affects our customers. I thank you.
Put up your hand. Let's have another one. You are going to respond to all of them.
Thank you very much, presenter, and thank you for inviting us. My name is Joseph Subira. I'm a director at the petrol station. I was requesting about the CA business of operating the license, if we could adjust the measures and the procedures are becoming too many and they become difficult for us to acquire the operating license. We love it so much to get it, but it becomes very difficult because of the criteria which it goes through. Thank you.
Let's take one more and then we'll respond.
Thank you very much. My name is Gas Matarisi. I'm here to represent shareholder May. My concern is about fire safety. One of the presenters talked about fire safety. At the petrol station, I have a challenge of food vendors operating nearby petrol station. So I've got a chance to have an opportunity with these government leaders. I'm requesting an advice. Which measures should I take to make sure that those food vendors are shifted in the good heart to another place of operation to avoid the fire in this petrol station? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Maybe we take one more and then we shall respond before we start. We shall respond to all your questions and mention your name and where you are.
Thank you for presenting. My name is Ofumi Amos from Champagne District. We appreciate all of the presentation, and for me I've benefited, but as you said you're continuing, I would urge you to do that. My concern goes to almost the same question, that what's the Energy Ministry pricing regulation framework are you going to do for our country? Then I'm trying to say that this being a standard, you get that it is you who give the standard, like soda. If I go to Arua, I buy at 1,000. I come to Hoima, I buy at 1,000. Why is it fuel that I come to Hoima is different from the one of police? Then another one, I appreciate the methodology. Really, he has helped us to know. But now the issue is, after you have already done inspection and put in the seal, why don't you label to us when you are going to petrol station? You say the standard here you are supposed to see is this one. Now I have experience. For me, I have my container. I go and buy a fuel 1 liter. I see the measurement. I got another pump. I see the measurement. Then from there I compare. I say, I think this one is better because at the same price but different quantity. That's why when I was so much attentive that the air was something like that. For me, I didn't know. But for me, I was using my research. So I know I will not mention here. I know if I go to this one, I bypass that one. I say this one is this. So I wish if you could help us to that one. So I thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So let us respond to those ones before we take another bunch. At what stage do the non-compliant car? Some from Kagadi Town Council, they will ask at what stage? At the station, during transit, at the depot. Now it can occur in all those areas. It can occur, assuming, but it is rare in the depot where these people are storing big quantities of product to do the manipulation of adulteration. But you never know, it can happen. It can also happen at that stage. But from our experience, we have discovered that most of the non-compliance do occur during the transit. For example, when the border comes in, meets the standard at the border, but between the border of Busia to Kampala, something happens by the transporter along the way. The non-compliance and the manipulation of product, we have found out it's not mainly an activity carried out by the owner of the product, but the secondary people who handle the product in the supply chain do mess up the owner of the product. You receive a product in Hoima, but along the way in Kiboga, where it passed, it may not be the same standard as it left Kampala. So we have discovered most of those ones are occurring, but also at the station, there are those who may manipulate and add in. They buy product from other places, they mix up, even at the station, he goes to buy, even within the same company, it can happen. Same product, same company, taking its own same retail station, but along the way, or at the station, there is mixing of product. But then also, one thing we are not brought out clearly is that as stakeholders, we have a challenge of fuel being sold in jerry cans and bottles in different areas. That's why we are here to partner with you to help us. Because in our monitoring exercise, for us, we go only in those gazetted, licensed places. We don't go to the villages to handle product. But I can also, as you bring the microphone to this and here, prices vary because of different factors in the supply chain. Because this industry has been liberalized, one is able to import his product from Kisumu with his truck and bring it to Hoima. He has cut out operational costs of hiring a truck from Kampala. He has cut out whole price from Kampala. He imports directly to his station to Hoima. His price will not be the same with other retail dealers in the region who buy from Kakumiro, who buy from other dealers. He will not put his profit margin the same. He may reduce his price. So it's a liberalized economy. For us and for consumers, what we advise is that you go where you see the prices lower. Because if Shell puts the price lower and another company has remained up, he'll be forced to bring his down because he don't have customers in the long run. He'll be able, the consumers will be able to manage the pricing, not only the ministry, but even if you are not getting clients, you will be forced to reduce the price so that you can compete with the other people within the area. So the public also has a role, not only the ministry, in the control of the prices. Then there are companies who have many operational costs. They import, they store in Kampala. Then they have tendered out distributors. Those are operational costs. They have tendered out storage. Those are operational costs. They have so many supervisors within the stations. Those are operational costs. Well, he has to pay all these ones. he has to add on some extra fee on the pump price so that he can meet those administrative costs, and that brings his price higher than the rest. Then there are those who have reduced those operation costs by reducing the number of employees within the supply chain. And when he has reduced the number of employees in the supply chain, he can sell his product at a smaller fee compared to the others. So those are some of the areas where we find that the prices may vary from station to station. This, and if you have something add on, or Reverend is.
Okay, let me add something. I'm told the Division of Labor, it has been given to me. Frank Tukwasibe, the Minister of Energy and Mineral Development, those are my names and where I work. Price, Peter has talked much about it. And really, I don't think I can be able to add much more. And this question is, everywhere you go in the workshop, it comes up. But just like my brother was giving an example of water, even though it is a standard container of 1 liter or half a liter, its price from place to place may be different. You may find the price of water, if you are taking a bottle of water from this resort hotel, might be different from where you are picking it at your petrol station, and could be different from one picking it from the market elsewhere. Same bottle of water. The product is okay, the quality is fine, same quantity, but prices being different. So as a customer, you have the liberty to choose where you want to be. We really don't have to force to say that, no, you go here, you go here. That's the kind of thing, and that's the beauty with competition. Let me address something about measures and procedures for getting a petroleum operating license. We may need perhaps to get more clarification, either one-on-one, on how rigorous or what is changing. But to the best of my knowledge, the only change that came recently is an issue of the requirement for a building permit before one puts up a station, or before you get the construction permit from the ministry, you need to have a building permit from the local authorities. And before getting the operating license, we will also be requiring very soon that you have an occupation permit. Now, these are not things from the ministry, although from the same government, and they are all put for the good of every stakeholder. Because the need for building permit, as per the building review board, is coming from addressing a certain need that was missing at the district with only approval of the plans. So, because the plans are approved, yes, but who is going to construct? Now, the building permit will be very clear as to who is your architect, who was your architect, who is going to be your engineer. And at the end of the day, when you are coming for completion certificate, you also try to verify and see, do you actually use those registered engineers or not? So those are the kind of things that we are moving into to ensure that there is good sanity moving forward. The aspect of food vendors operating near the station, you may find the food vendors also asking why Shell should not move. Because they also have their right, and you also have your right on your property. So who takes priority on whose land? So let's all enjoy the properties God has given us in a proper manner. Uphold your standards of firefighting at the station, ensure that you are okay, and let them also do their things properly. But we are not going to say, you food vendor, please give way to a station. No. That one really would mean that some people have more rights in this nation than others. That's really what I could advise my brother to take heart, and I am sure that you have very good safety measures in place to ensure that those kind of things are done. But if they are posing, in case they are done, I hope they are not coming into your yard. If they are coming in, then you are letting them to come to your yard, because that is your area. Otherwise, you engage with the local authorities to see, because otherwise, you took your plan to the district for approval. Another person also took his business plan of doing a club and is next to you. So what do you do? I mean, it all comes back to proper planning and utilization of these places that we have. I don't want to go into who formed who there. I think that's all.
Hope we have answered and given something on legal methodology.
Thank you, Peter. So I've moved down the page, but my colleague has informed me that one of our visitors, Charles, is concerned that he has his container, which he tried at 2 different dispensing stations, and there was a variation. Brother Charles, the only answer we can give is generic. For us to have a specific answer, I would advise that you should have called the number in red on the screen, such that we have a test and get empirical results, and that's the only way we can get the specific answer to the question. But generally, the following could be possible. 1, the reason we have expired dates of the mark of conformity which we are fixed on a pump after verification or calibration is because these meters, these systems drift over time when they're in operation. And so it's possible for a meter or a pump to drift. And the law specifies the margins of error within which it's taken as unacceptable drift. And it's understood that within a period of 6 months, if your meter was a good quality and being used properly, it cannot drift outside what is specified in the law. And through the years as we do this work, I can assure you that it works. So you could have gone into pump A, which maybe has drifted less or has not drifted, because that is possible. You have gone to pump B, which has drifted so much. And now if we had come, if you had reported, we came and tested, we would be able to know that pump X maybe had drifted outside the maximum permissible error or not, and there will be solutions. All those who are in the petroleum subsector and measurements know that the volume of a product is also determined by its temperature. And so we do not know at what temperature was station A, at what temperature was station B. And this temperature is determined by many factors. How deep is the tanker from the surface? How hot is the day? So many things. How much was the difference between pump A and pump B? So there is so much that needs to be done. And Two, I don't know which container you used. For example, if you used a plastic container like this one, it will expand depending on the temperature. It will expand depending on how long it has contained a petroleum product. So really, so much is unknown at this stage. I humbly request you, I will be here waiting for you separately if you wish. You let us know these stations or these pumps. We can reach there either with you, or if you maybe fear some results from, we can go independently. But the point is, we are here, we are committed to have the solutions to these problems. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Let's have him and then mention your name, where you come from, and your title.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry, I'm going to use my local language, which I'm satisfied with it. Amabala gange baneta abuziyutu besigwa n'enyowe chairperson w'abasuubuzi ba Kakadu district. Nyowe ekikabuzo ekyange itwe tukombeka petrol station ebiragiro ebimu bitakagireho. Kyonka ate obagire ebiragiro ebindi, for example, constructing interceptor, nojja kusanga space ya interceptor otakisigeho. Ekyo nosanga tutugumirize nkaitwa abayombekere petrol station ezimazire emyaka nyingi muno nitulemererwa kutunga license. Ensonga eya kabiri, aba UNBS bakaba nibatwihayo emitwalo 5 baitu hati bakatuteeka emitwalo 8. Obwokuba oyina pumps yina obusente obukatunzire bwona, obwokuba oyina nozo yina obusente obukatunzire olunaku lwona nomalira obusaswire aba UNBS. Mbaire ninsaba esente ezo bukiraba nikisoboka batusalireho tusigale ha mitwalo 5. Webale muno waitu.
I hope my colleagues have picked the questions and have understood the language. One of our help us to translate so that we understand together.
Okay. My name is Gilbert Tewasima, the district vice chairperson, out of several presentations given to us. The first concern emanates from both the recently amended law, that is the Petroleum Supply Act of 2003, but amended 2023, which amendment introduced a provision that gave a mandate to the Uganda National Oil Company as a sole importer of petroleum products. And in the presentations, one of the presenters actually presented the procedure that individuals or companies can follow in processing or in applying for a license to import. Yet, I knew the position after the recently amended Petroleum Supply Act that actually people were removed from the business of importation. My concern, therefore, is you give us what is the current position. Has this law come into force, or individuals and companies can actually still apply for the importation of petroleum products? Number two, the second concern is about the availment of the list of suppliers, actually the list of service providers of the petroleum products. one of the presenters made mention that there are some service providers who are illegally providing the services, and that you are inviting them to regularize their businesses. My humble request or a concern is, why can't UNBS avail to districts a list of approved service providers and the services they offer for purposes of inspection, monitoring, and the likes? Lastly, the oil and gas companies in the petroleum industry have introduced, for now about 2 to 3 years, a position of officer called the compliance officers to ensure compliance. And we do not have an equivalent person in these districts. I want to suggest that UNBS creates, together with, of course, government, creates this position in districts to ensure compliance and make this person your officer who sits in particular districts, not only at a region. Because I understand you have a regional office, but I'm proposing that you customize and reduce these people to the level of placing them in districts. I beg to submit.
Yes, I hope there are some hands here. I'll take these two and then respond.
Thank you. Me and Cuthbert of Montgomery representing Service. My concern is on fuel market. We are all talking about the quality, but the way you presented, you said the process of getting a fuel station, but there is a major point: the dealers are missing out on the quality. Someone comes up and starts a station just to make a business, but he doesn't know product knowledge. So you may find someone knows petrol must be red, diesel has to be white. Most of them, that's what they know. We are requesting UNBS, as we are doing our part, like you said when you are concluding, you say these people, we have to tell them to get hydrometers and thermometers to measure, but there's some people, they don't have water finders. So we require, it should be put in the requirements when people are starting such a business. Don't always stop on the structure thing, safety thing, but the final product should be more important to start with. Because like us, we are dealing with deposits, we are doing our part. After doing our part, when it reaches the final market, someone will sell fuel, they will say, where did you get that fuel from? Because it is the other dealer's problem, not the supplier's problem. We find that the dealer has mixed on the way, or he mixes the other side. People will say, why are you getting this product I'm getting from certain station? So the whole thing of that station, they will say, that station is doing so and so. So we are requesting us to be measured, how to measure temperature, us to know how to measure density, us to know how to measure water. So some people, that's how you said you are a field supervisor. So when you reach at the station and it has a problem, if maybe the fuel is mixed with water, first of all you ask, where did you get that fuel from? Someone will say certain X, so you already got another impression of certain supplier. So that's what I'm requesting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Kira Julio, Town National Council. I have two concerns related to taxes charged to petrol station owners. These days, more especially in rural areas, we have Masonic petrol stations, people wait for business. And when they are paying for building plan approval, they pay through the system, which is IRS, Integrated Registration and Diffusion System. And on that system, the prices comes direct, and they range from 2 million to 7 million. And it becomes difficult for that one person to pay that amount. It's becoming a challenge. Maybe I want you to comment on that. Then two, these petrol station owners, for us, there is a taxi operating license, which you're supposed to charge them. But when you reach for them they say they pay this tax for the center. And you find someone having like one to three petrol stations under one company, and maybe has for you because that has paid the names of the company, and when you reach him or her, he also refuses to pay that for him or her is paid from the center. Can you give more clarification on that one? Thank you very much.
And what you have received, that it meets the standard. Also, we have encouraged dealers to keep samples. A truck has come, you have bought from company A, take a sample. Now if our team comes and measures the product with the tank and it has failed, ask our people to measure those samples which you took from different trucks on delivery. You will be able to know that, okay, the product I bought last week from this company X is the one which has brought problems. Keep those samples. Our people will be enabled to test them and be able to track the source of the non-compliance, and then we shall be able to work on it and postpone it. We can take on some answers concerning, the last one was about taxes. Some taxes being levied at by local authority, by different.
Thank you, moderator and the TC. I would say that some taxes are paid to the center. That's true. But there are also some taxes that are for the local governments. For example, whereas the dealer pays licenses to the center, things like local service tax for the workers, property tax is for local governments. So you look for the type of tax that is supposed to be paid to local government, and leave that one for the center for the center. That is the thing. Okay? Secondly, some of these dealers, in addition to vending fuel, they have some supermarkets, shops. So can you look for some tax from not from the petrol but from the other businesses that are there? Then IRS system whereby people pay through the system and they say it's too much. Who gives the rates? It is government. So the question is not becoming to these people but to government, say the taxes are high, should be addressed. So if it is a concern, raise it with central government, us, and say we are asking too much for this. I think that's what I want to say. Yes? Yes, I've picked it. Yes, I've picked it. I've introduced myself, I'm Emmanuel Tunabine, South Culture District Administration.
maybe I can add on what my colleague has said. On taxes, the one going to the center is determined by the center, and it is in the system. So we cannot change it from here in this discussion. But specifically on petroleum products, the trading license was replaced by what we call the license fees, what this one was putting here. For petroleum products specifically, but other services which are on the station, like a supermarket and other things, they can pay the trading license. That is very clear. So the dealers are right to say, we paid these license fees to the center. So we need to differentiate between the two. And specifically, that's why we are here, to let you know that it is true, the trading license for petroleum products was repealed by the Petroleum Supply Act, which introduced the license fees to the center. But there are other businesses on the station. Those ones, they are eligible to pay trading licenses, which are not petroleum.
There was an issue, position, there was importation.
The question, I did not get it very well. Maybe, is Reverend here? Yes, Reverend answered it. I was outside, I did not get the Inoka issue.
The answer.
Thank you. Let me, before coming to import, there was an aspect of new regulations when people were already in operation. This is from, if I picked the neighbor very well, my language is not so very clear, but I picked something. Yes, my colleague Tibesuma. The aspect of if your station was in place before the 2003 Petroleum Supply Act, the Act gave a transition period for regionalization. Since 2003, these are now 20 years. I do not know whether somebody can come up now and say, but these things were there before 2003 and it didn't have an oil interceptor. These are things that are required. Anyway, since licenses are for 5 years, for operating, when you come for renewal, we require that you install those kind of things because they are for the good of every other person. The area presenters were very categorical that the operations would like to see that operations in this industry do not negatively impact on the other sectors. That's what even the was that. And what? The aspect of decommissioning and whatnot, so that even when you are leaving, at least the place, this is where UNOC at the moment is playing the role that all Ugandan oil marketing company affiliates in other countries were playing. Because the oil marketing companies here know that they were not importing directly. They were importing through affiliates, either in Kenya or Tanzania. And UNOC is playing that middle part of an affiliate. UNOC, when it brings that fuel, it gives it to whoever has an importation license. So I think that answers the question. So importation license is still clear and they were not revoked, because for UNOC to know whom to sell to or to give fuel, you must be having an importation license. Only UNOC is playing the role that the middleman was playing before. Availability of service providers, please write this down. MEMD .go.ug. If you go to that website, even now, you will see that we have put under resource, media resource something. You will find Those regulations, they are there. The application forms are there. And we have also put licensed stations as at September 2024. So that this is public information on the public domain. You can go and cross-check. The information is given alphabetically, that list of licensed companies. It is arranged alphabetically. You need to get the entire package and pick what is relevant to your area. So I hope that information is also given because it is information in the public domain. Oil and gas companies putting in place compliance officers and whether this can be emulated. I pick that one, but in Uganda, we know at the moment we are going through RAPEX, rationalization of agencies and what? Public expenditure. So while we are still moving with that, and a brilliant idea like this comes on introducing at every local government, I'm not sure which ministry or which honorable member or parliament may want to bring that. And also, because we are in the same country, we want our people to be employed, but when they are employed, they must be paid through the taxes that we are collecting. Right now, we are saying rationalize, and on the other hand, we are saying, please, can we emulate what the oil companies are doing? So it is a catch-22 situation that I can't give an answer, but probably in that hinting I have given an answer. That's all.
Thank you so much. Maybe there was a concern of, I didn't understand the 50,000. Was it on to do with the pump fee calculations? It was 50, then it was raised to 80,000. He spoke it in a local language. The fees that was raised to 80,000, is that for calculation of the pumps?
When UNBS conducts verification of meters, the owners pay a verification fees to the government of Uganda. Just like all the other cases, the money is paid to the consolidated fund through the Uganda Revenue Authority. Now, some time ago, about 10 years or 8 or so, you excuse me, I don't remember the exact time, the fees was raised from 50,000 to 80,000 shillings. The request, if I understood the language, is that if possible, the money is reduced from 80 to 50,000. Now, that's above my pedigree. I can't comment, but my director is here, and possibly he will be giving closing remarks, and I think he will answer the question. He has assured me he will answer the question when he's giving closing remarks, because policy, it's above a technical officer like me. Getting back to Charles, who had asked before, my colleague here, my senior colleague, mine, has reminded me to refer to some of the reasons when I was presenting why we sometimes have short measures which we call air. For example, when you were comparing those pumps, did you observe that the pumps were delivering above or at least at their minimum measured quantity? Thank you.
Yeah, I want to bring this discussion to a close in the interest of time, so that we can have our lunch and travel back to our respective areas for other duties. This was a half-day workshop, but we shall continue to interact even after this
during lunch, and even you have contacts so that we bridge up the gap so that we work together to improve on the quality and the quantity of products sold in the supply chain. Can I invite at this moment Mr. Steve Barisiga to guide us in the way forward as we come to the conclusion of this matter?
Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Peter. Ladies and gentlemen, we are coming to the end of this session. We had wanted to give you more time for discussions, but we have another schedule after this. Allow us to end here, but we have all our contacts. Please submit all your concerns, all your issues, all your suggestions, which are possible, we will address them, which are not possible, we will get back to you. Now allow me to invite the Commissioner of the Petroleum Supply Department to say a few words, and the ED will summarize, will close. Reverend, please. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you very much for turning up. And I think we have benefited from you, and we'll put some of the suggestions in action, and we believe we'll deliver the services better than what we are doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Mine will be extremely brief. One, to apologize for not opening officially, because I think at the 50th level, where I am now, I had underestimated the journey. I thought I would be a bit quicker. I thought as if I was still in the 30s or so. So I had underestimated, and I saw it, time was moving. That's why I called and said, please, you start, but I should be able to join you. So now I am at the 50th level, and the body had to dictate, to say that, please, you must reach safely, and those kind of things. So that's the kind of thing. But I'm glad that you were able to begin on time, and for the healthy, fruitful discussion. My name, Justa Frank Tukwasiwe. So Reverend is the title. I've not mentioned it about my name, because that's a title. Like you may have a doctor or something. So the name is Dr. Justa Frank Tukwasiwe, and I work with the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development as the Commissioner for the Petroleum Supply Department. Now, I hope people will not be asking how is a Reverend in that role, because when we go to study, we study many things. And I did statistics, I did computer science, I did business administration, but also as a Christian, I did things to do with ministry, and I was ordained. But that ordination did not mean that now I abandon the professional work to the other calling of witnessing, which I do even by action, not necessarily on the pulpit. So that might explain and help people to not get confused as how is this happening. That is it now for, and that's how we are moving on very well. Nonetheless, we work very well. You know the bodies of government, whether you are which religion or no religion at all, or which party or no party at all. We serve people without fear, without fear, equal. So, don't be victimized. Don't feel like, how when I go to commissioner's office with my kofira of a Hajj, and when you will be attended to thoroughly well, without any discrimination, without any fear, because we are all in the same country, and we need to see that we enjoy very well. Now, I am glad that we had this workshop. Peter's presentation showed some aspects of where the performance where we are. And somewhere, somehow, you may pat yourself on the back to say we are not doing very badly. In fact, we are among the people that are performing well. Yeah, yes, but we are not at 100%. So there is room for improvement. So I request you to put on everything that is required to see to it that we can be able to reach the mark. It is a bit difficult to maintain that critical goal is very high, but I know with resilience we can be able to reach there. It's only keeping trying and trying and trying. So I want to end on these two examples. Number one is that of the child. Mothers who are here, when a child is at the stage of trying to get walking on the horse, to walking on the toes, there are many areas where this child has to do what? To fall. When the child falls, you do not beat the child. Neither do you begin, kind of like downplaying the efforts of this child. But in some of the areas where I come from, sometimes even people clap and encourage and sing, yeah? So that this child now can be encouraged now to walk and try to be stable, take one step forward, this time takes two, and is lo and behold, the child is able to walk. So, similarly, in this industry, whether we have been performing poorly or fairly well, there is room for improvement. Let us keep on encouraging each other, pinpoint the culprits. A small one rotten mango in a pack of others can destabilize the others, right? So please, don't feel intimidated. That's why we are even giving toll-free numbers. Don't feel intimidated of saying, hey, it will be thought that it is me who reported so and so. You report. Otherwise, if you don't report, how shall we know? And if we don't know and the things continue placing bad, then who would you blame? We all be in the blame game. So let's be able to help each other to see to it that we can be able to move forward very well. The other, if I must mention, is the aspect of why do we regulate? Because you see, again using an example of family, sometimes you tell a child, this is not the good thing to do. And the child does not listen with the ears. Next time, you raise the voice in communicating, and the child sometimes does not listen. And then sometimes you know that the only way to do is to instill listening through other avenues. Yeah? You get some stick and administer properly, and the buttocks now communicate to the brains that if you do not relent, this pain will be occasionally felt. So the child developed measures of trying to adhere. In fact, at some instances, and especially the mothers, they communicate by looking. You are somewhere on a party, and it does like this. You've forgotten the whole story. What that means, if you were not behaving properly. And you can imagine even the discipline that is likely to happen, or if whatever. They may not talk, just see. And you have already known what that means. So, I don't know at what stage we are in the field marking, in our kind of things, whether now this visit can be looked at like we are giving that look or whatnot. But please, if we are smiling and doing what, and tomorrow you are the culprit after such a sensitization, we will be talking properly. in view of the seal, will be saying, you know, now, this is how things are. A seal has already been placed. Now others will take the law in their hands and remove the seal. So now you have already taken the law in your hands and you are coming to me. What can I do? The only thing is that because I don't have the guns and what not please, your matter has been referred to those who can manage. Because you might be having some criminality in it, and I'm not trained to deal with those kind of things. So those who are trained in the area should be able to handle, and me, I continue handling my other aspect. So we'll refer to those cases. You heard of that court case we had, because everybody should be able to pray the Lord that is able to do. So, as I invite my brother of the UNBS to close this workshop, my assurance is that like that publication I've talked about on the ministry's website, every quarter we shall be putting the list, the updated list. Because when you look at that list of fuel stations, is as at the end of the first quarter. So as you are enjoying the new year, God willing, and I pray that you all wish there, check there to see the updated list. With those few remarks, why don't I call the brother here to close the workshop, which progressed well. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Commissioner, Minister of Energy and Mineral Development, our leaders, the local leaders. I remember seeing LC5 chairman from Kakumina, the managers of security from police and other security organizations, our friends from the media, our colleagues, the business people, the owners of oil companies. I greet you all and I thank you for attending this day where we're providing information but also getting feedback. Today marks an important day of the successful story that started on Monday and I think it's ending tomorrow, where we're interacting with you. I know tomorrow we shall be in Kiboga, and for us looking at 9 districts to speak on issue of standards in terms of the standards that we have developed, I think my brother Dean did good justice, and how we can promote them, and of course how we can whip. That is standards development, promotion and enforcement. I think you heard it clearly from the Commissioner, the whipping. For us, it takes a lot of pride, because as Uganda National Bureau of Standards, our work is that we do all this to ensure safety. We've heard stories about safety recently, and the results have not been good. So it helps us deliver on the mandate of safety and also on the issue of trade facilitation. We want you to profit from your businesses, the oil companies, but also we don't want you to cheat. So it's about fair trade, and I believe in the 9 districts we've done justice. This is just part of the journey, of what I've done in all the 8 sub-regions as mentioned by Peter. This is, I think, Western A. So thank you so much, team, that have done this work, and also feel happy that our colleagues, the business partners for both from different areas that have come to listen to what Ministry of Energy together with UNBS has put on the ground for purpose of fuel marking, but also quality monitoring. So I want to thank you so much. I wish also to emphasize that as UNBS issue of quality infrastructure, we've taken it serious through the 2 laws as mentioned earlier, that is the UNBS Act, but also the issue of waste standard and measures. This is good information so that you are not caught off guard, and you make sure that you take all the necessary steps to comply with the law as stipulated. I don't know where you put yourself. Second last among the worst over non-compliance, but if you get from compliance, I think you are the second place. So I want to commend you, and I think you will clap for yourselves. But also I want to mention that as the program, we're doing everything possible to see that this takes place. As you heard, we are 87 coverage on this program, and in terms of compliance, evaluation results indicate distinction. We just lose 0.8 to make 100%. And I think this, we can do it together if we all cooperate and work together. Our ideal situation is that we see 100%, and that's why we undertake compliance campaigns with the aim of enhancing client confidence, but also to promote culture, quality culture among all of us. So my parting words are twofold. One, to mention that you need to comply. You can comply voluntarily. We have all the information for you to know what to do, right from standards, the rules, the procedure. My call is that comply with what the law is saying and procedures. Be informed and be engaged. Be reaching us. We shall always support you as possible. We can handhold you. We can run with you. We can see that you're up the mountain. My second message is that we are equipped and committed to enforce compliance. We are ready to fight substandard goods, and we are ready to fight substandard and undoubted fuel, and we have all the mechanisms. We have the technology. So my call and my mention here is that if you are not committed, to comply, for us we are committed to enforce standards and fight substandard and adulterated fuel. I call upon you to cooperate with us, and then we see a safe Uganda. We all know that this does not only affect the machinery or the equipment that uses fuel, but it also affects our economy. So on that note, with those 2 areas of emphasis, I wish to call this meeting to an end.
You are welcome for lunch, where we had our break. You can continue with more interactions while we are having our lunch. Thank you.